The supernatural leader, a refined species of human. At the southernmost tip of India is the town of Kanyakumari. Its uniqueness lies in the fact that it sits at the confluence of the Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal, and the Arabian Sea. This is symbolic for a leader, as he too sits at the confluence of powerful challenges. A man who becomes supernatural at one of these, tends to be pathologically deficient in the others. The deficiency that manifests most often is in the form of relationships, personal and professional. A CEO, a world leader, and any significant leader of men has the weight of the world upon his shoulders. This weight begins to take its toll. The cracks in the foundation begin to appear in various parts of his life. Due to the enormous weight that he is continually forced to bear, he sometimes sinks into a depression, succumbs to untold anxiety, is haunted by fear, and controlled by uncertainty. He seeks help through books, magazines, lectures, and workshops. He is told to get work-life balance, meditate, do mindfulness, exercise, go for a walk, do deep breathing, take regular vacations, delegate, take anxiety meds and sleeping meds, and on and on. Such things do not work. They are balm and Bengay. And the reason that they do not work is because they are exogenous elements sprinkled upon a human. This is not how the human organism transforms. Prescriptions and how-tos lead only to prescriptions and how-tos. If these are not the answer, then what is? The answer is the truth. What is the truth? If you go outside and toss a rock into the air, the rock will come back to the ground. Why? Because of gravity. Gravity never doesn't work. Gravity is never ineffective. Why? Because it is the truth. It is not a clever trick. It is not a concoction. It is not manufactured. It is not a modality, or a hack or a technique. So long as a man is in the Earth's atmosphere, gravity will be the truth. Let us take the idea of work-life balance. At first glance, it seems logical. One should not overwork himself. Too much of one thing is not good. One must be balanced in all parts of his life. It is a good way to relieve stress. One should give his spouse and children the time they deserve, and so on. These are all very reasonable and logical claims. But, you see, there is a problem. It is naturally intuitive to default towards the concept of moderation. But the fact is that moderates are mediocre. Understand this: a moderate cannot be a supernatural leader, a supernatural human, a supernatural father, or a supernatural husband. A moderate cannot be a supernatural anything. This discourse, and all of my work, for that matter, is not for those who seek to be moderate. Quite frankly, there is an excellent chance that one who is moderate already has balance in his life. I am speaking of the immoderates. The unicorns, the greats, the legends, the world class. The DNA of the supernatural man is not well served by donning a cloak of moderation. And understand this: that which does not fit with a man's DNA is doomed before it has begun. For a human will always default to his nature. A human will always default to his defaults. Then what is worthy of the DNA of the supernatural man? Supernaturalness. The supernatural leader must make himself a supernatural human. In becoming a supernatural human, all that emanates from him will be supernatural. If the well is pure, all humans that drink from it will be nourished. How does a supernatural leader become a supernatural human? I will tell you. He begins by examining all of the holes in his leadership. The fears, the anxieties, the conflicts, the worries, the turmoils, the indecision, the confusion, the failures, all of it. He follows each of these back to their source. Each will lead to a specific part of the mind. Not the brain. As they lead back to the mind, it is there that the unraveling of these problems takes place. In their exploration and unraveling, the problems begin to disappear. Purity begins to flow through stagnant veins. The human being begins to become revived. Without having followed a single prescription. Without having adopted a single method. For in walking this path, it is really a non-path. He will have found gravity. He will have found the truth. He will have begun the process of taking control of his mind. After having been a prisoner to it for all of his adult life. And in so doing, he will become a refined species of human. Namaste.